We're going to be building this dashboard in good old plain HTML and CSS and just a few lines of JavaScript. Everything is fully responsive. So if you want to see how I built this from start to finish, notice the nice tooltips there. So yeah, if you want to say I built this, then let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to shrink this down a bit. And there we go. I'm actually zoomed in quite a bit. So I'm going to drop that back to about right there. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm already in VS Code, okay? I'm already in the folder that I'm gonna be working in, just a directory by the name of coding-sidebar. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is create our index.html file and also a style.css. So we're not gonna have a script file, we're just gonna have that inside of our HTML. So let's go ahead and say, I'm gonna say touch index.html and then style.css. And what that's gonna do is just create our files here off to the left. And we can go ahead and close that. So inside our HTML file, I'm gonna use Emmet here to generate some boilerplate code there. And let's go ahead and can open up a live server, a nice little extension that we can view our file off to the right here. So as you can see, document, and then what we'll say is code commerce, we'll just say YouTube. So you can see that is what we are looking at right now. Okay, perfect. So to get started, let's go ahead and start off by entering in our HTML. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to put this inside of our body tag, and essentially we're going to have three main containers here. So we're going to have a sidebar container here, this little bluish dark navy blue side, and then inside our sidebar we're going to have this top div here. Then we're going to have this user div right here, and then just an unordered list here with a bunch of list items. And then over here, we're going to have our main. Okay. So, and everything is going to be fully responsive as well. So inside our body, we're going to create a div by the name of sidebar. So just using a shortcut, you can say period, then just name a class, just a nice little time saver there. So inside of our sidebar, we're going to have a div by the name of top, and like I said, we're going to have a div by the name of user, and then we're going to have an unordered list, just like so. So inside of our top here, our top class, we're going to have another div. We're going to say a logo, and inside here, what we're going to use, we're using box icons. So this this menu here and all these icons, something called box icons. So let's go ahead and use that. So we're going to type in boxicons.com. This is it right here. Open it up. Got a bunch of little free nice icons here. So go ahead and click on the usage link there. And we're not going to install this with a package manager or anything like that. We're just going to scroll down and just use it as a font. It's super simple to use. So just copy this right here and then come back to your index.html file and literally just paste it in right there below the title. And that's going to be all that we need to do. Okay. So I'm just going to shrink that back down here. And there you have it. That's all we have to do to have access to all these cool logos here. So inside here, let's go ahead. Where were we here? Inside of our logo here, let's go ahead and add an icon. So let's say I class. And for our class, this one's going to be BXL-CodePen. We're using the CodePen icon there. So as you can see, there it is. You see it on the screen. So that's how easy it is to use box icons there. So I'm going to give this a span here as well. And we're going to say code commerce. And this is what we're creating right here. So this whole part right here first. So below that div, below the logo div, let's create our menu. So we're going to have and this is going to be a class of BX, and then BX menu, just like that. And let's go ahead and give this an ID of BTN, because we're going to use this ID. That's how we're going to, whoops, delete that there. This is how we're going to use our JavaScript to toggle our side menu there. Okay, so next, we're done with this logo class. Next, let's go into the user div here. And we're going to have an image. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. Just the image that I'm going to be using. I'm going to pull it over right in here. Just this user dash image, just me holding some lightsaber chopsticks. Pretty cool. All right. So next, let's go ahead and use this image. So I'm going to say image. Then the source is just user dash img. Feel free to use mine, I guess, if you want to. Of course, you could just use one of your own. Then I'm going to give this a class of user-img, which we'll go back and style here in just a moment. So that's all we need for our image there. But just below our image, let's create another div here. It doesn't have to have a class, but inside here, we're going to have a p tag with a class name of bold. And I'm just going to say Clint B just like that. And then we'll say p, and we'll just say admin just like so. All right, so next, let's go ahead and attach our style sheets. So we'll say, we'll say link CSS here. It's a nice little shortcut. And then let's open this up off to the side. There we go. And I hope you guys can still see pretty well. I might have to zoom out just a tad. I want to make sure you guys can see everything. So what I want to do is let's go ahead and I'm going to grab this user-img, and I'm just going to shrink this down a bit. I'm going to shrink that down a bit. It's just kind of hard to look at. So we'll say width of 50 pixels. We'll do something like that. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and say border radius 100%. And then I'll give it a border 1 pixel solid, and then just this little light gray color. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. So let's go back to our HTML file here. We'll go back to our HTML file, and so inside of our unordered list, okay, inside our unordered list, what we're going to have here is a list item. And inside of our list item, we're going to have a couple things here. So we're going to have an anchor tag. And I'm just going to put a number sign there. It's not actually going to go anywhere. And inside of our anchor tag, we're going to have an icon. So I'm going to give this a class. And this class is going to be bxs-grid-alt. And so there it is right there. Feel free to look through all of their icons. They have some pretty cool icons there. So just below that, we need another span here. And I'm going to give this span a class of nav-item. I'm going to call it dashboard, just like that. Now, below our, outside of our anchor tag, but still within our list item, I'm going to create another span with a class of tooltip. And I'm going to say dashboard as well. Perfect. So as you can see, this is going to be our that little tooltip is going to be the little hover tooltip you see there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that's our list item there. So next, what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to copy this down a handful of times, and let's see here. It looks good there. May have done too many of them. So after dashboard, next we're going to do, let's do products. We'll change that. Feel free to skip through this part if you'd like. I'm going to say categories. Then we're going to do orders. Let's see here. Orders. And we're going to come back here and change the icons as well. So customers. Then we're going to have, after customers, we'll have shipping. And then we're going to have settings. And then we'll have log out. And log out. Cool. And I believe, yeah, that's it. We don't need this one down here. I copied down too many of them. Okay. So that looks good there. Now let's go ahead and change up some of these icons. So for the log out here, we're going to say bx-log-out, and we should see a new icon over here. Zoom in just a little bit there. Perfect. Now the next one for settings, we're going to need bx-cog. There we go. Now for shipping, it's going to be bx, what's this shipping one? -location -plus. Okay, perfect. And then for customers, we're going to say bx-body. Okay, perfect. And then for orders, the orders is going to be bxs-food-menu. Okay, and then for categories, we'll say bx-list-check. And then for our products, it's going to be bxs-shopping. Or this is the wrong one there. For our products here, there we go. bxs shopping back.